In today's video, we're going to talk about how to change what AI says about you on Google. Now, we've explored many topics on this channel before. We've talked about how to fix your online reputation using standard traditional SEO, but times are changing, and this is the era of SGE. Before we get into it, we're going to talk about what is SGE, what is the search generated experience, why Gemini is changing the way online reputation management works now and how it will in the future, and what you can do to fix your online reputation. Let's get started. In order to change what AI says about you on the web, you're going to need to do a search. So before we even begin, open your computer, pull open your laptop. I want you to write your name or your business name, or even ask a question and get an idea on a variety of searches. What is Google Gemini saying about you? Okay, we're going to focus on the Gemini model, but you can also learn through Chat GPT. You can use Claude, you can use whatever you like. See what it says about you. Now, the next step there is to actually influence everything. So that means starting with social media, starting with your websites. In descending order, I'm going to give you a checklist of what you should optimize and exactly how to do it. So get ready, grab a pen, pencil, piece of paper, write it on your phone, or just save this video for later. So the number one place AI is going to learn from is major authoritative websites. Just like Google trusted them in the past, it trusts them even more now, and it's going to be pulling that data live from those websites. So you can influence the news by doing the following things. If you have a Wikipedia, you're a public figure, you can do that. But for most of us, we don't have a Wikipedia. Okay, so what you can do is issue press releases. We use EIN Presswire, ABN Newswire. These ones have very low threshold for verifiability. All you have to do is write a press release positive about yourself or your business, publish it, and disseminate it. The reason why that is so powerful is because once it's published, it will bank off dozens of websites, even hundreds of websites in some instances. So when AI is pulling this data, it's going to pull from those sites. Ask about developments, ask about your business, ask Gemini whatever you like, and then reverse engineer it. If you're asking, is this company a scam? Okay, and you're getting some results. Yes, this company is a scam from Gemini. Do a press release that says you were rated the top 10 most trustworthy companies. Right? Once you do that, you're actually conflicting AI's data. So that's the next tip. Conflict whatever is negative. So if you see Gemini saying something negative about you, you're going to make many citations of conflicting positive points. This is how you do it. Aside from issuing press releases, you can also pay for guest posts. What this means is we'll just open a Google Drive, we'll write positive content, and then we will take that positive content and we will hire somebody to publish it. We can do this on websites like Fiverr.com. We can publish it on our own website. We can go and hire somebody from freelancer.com to publish it on their blog. So you could choose a variety of different methods. At Nadernejad Media Incorporated, we have our own clients and our own publishers. So we take that content and then we publish it, and we can get you on over dozens of news sites a month. So we've been doing that for many years. We have our own database, our own contacts. But if you use those sites that I just let you know, you'll be able to do the very same. So the next step is to use the free sites that are available to you, because AI will learn from sites that are high authority, but also publicly accessible, easy for you to register on. So that means LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a big place. Crunchbase. For some reason, Google has always loved Crunchbase because the way it's set up to have all the cited information about a professional. So if you ask AI a question about yourself, it's going to pull things like companies you've established. It's going to pull things like investments. Crunchbase, even if you're not an investor, is a great place to be on. There's another trick, and we've established many tricks like this over the years. This one's very fun. We create IMDb profiles for our clients. What that means is, for those of you that don't know, the Internet Movie Database. You might not be a producer, you might not be a film star, you might have nothing to do with movies, but what we can do is create video content like this, okay? So I make this YouTube video, you can make a YouTube video that's positive like this. AI also learns from YouTube, because Google and YouTube, same company, okay? So that's a great idea. But then we're going to take that video content and then we're going to issue a credit for it on IMDb. So that's going to make you have an Internet Movie Database profile as well as a Crunchbase. We want both of these pieces of information to be the same across Internet Movie Database, across Crunchbase. Okay? If you Google me, my bio is coming up in the Google Knowledge panel from IMDb. And it is the bio that I wrote. So I've tried this with myself. I've done it with clients. It works very well. Use Internet Movie Database, use Crunchbase, and we're pulling in some general information. Now, here's the issue, and this has always been the issue with AI. If there is very powerful content on news sites, okay, and it's negative about you or your company, the issue with that is that it is still going to rise above and be pulled by the LLMs, the language learning models. They're going to pull in that negative content. So you need to be really heavy on the press releases. Be heavy on all the content that you're publishing. High volume over a period of time is going to change those search results, especially if you're conflicting the negative. Once you have more positive points against the negative points, it will begin to rank. Now here's the last thing. The last thing's a little bit technical, but it's going to make sure that the content you have and that you own is going to rank. These are website best practices. Google has web crawlers, okay? What web crawlers are, they're bots that go around the internet and they index and pull in all the informational content. Now, there's also AI crawlers, and this is cool because we can influence them if we know how they think and how they audit our websites. Here's how it's done. The first important fact is to have a clear page structure. What that means is using H1 tags, the main topic, the title, it needs to go at the top of the page, it needs to be clearly outlined what it is. Using different size titles, so H2 tag titles, okay? Not just about reducing the size, but tagging an H2 tag. If you use WordPress, you should know how to do it, or you can hire an SEO expert to do this for you. Another one is subpoints. So including H1 big title, smaller subtitles, we have points that talk about the entity, that talk about the individual. These things are going to help you appear in search in a different light. The next thing is structured data, and this is very important. We're going to add something called schema markup. That means, and usually there's WordPress tools where you can click. Yoast is a great WordPress tool you can use for this. You put FAQ schema. That tells Google this is an FAQ page. It's as simple as you open the page, you click the editor, you start editing the page, and then you click once you have the install plugin, the Yoast plugin. I'm not an affiliate of Yoast. I use Yoast. You open it, you on the drop-down menu, select FAQ schema, and then you continue building the page. It's as simple as that, but what that's going to tell LLMs is that this is a frequently asked question page about this individual. Once you've done that, it's going to be pulled in by the LLMs. This really helps. Another one is consistent entity information. So when you're talking about yourself or your entity, you want the content to be consistent. That's company name, founder name, business description, location, website, all of that should be consistent across the profiles. Another one is to make sure that all the pages are crawlable. So you're going to avoid things that block crawlers, okay? So what's good is HTML text, static pages, internal links. All these things are really great for web crawlers. What is bad is content hidden in images, heavy JavaScript rendering, and login gated content. Obviously, if it's not indexed on the web, it's not going to be pulled in by the LLMs. Another great one is internal linking. If you're linking pages, like your homepage to your services, services to case studies, about page to your blog, this is going to increase the content that's pulled in by LLMs and also referenced in these citations. For those of you who really want the specifics, I'll get into that right now. The first one is get robots.txt to allow crawlers. You got to make sure you're not blocking AI crawlers. A lot of websites have this as the default or have this installed, and it's not getting crawled and people wonder why. So your own personal website needs to allow crawlers. The second thing is you want your content to be server rendered HTML, because crawlers are going to struggle with heavy JavaScript apps. They're going to struggle with content loaded dynamically. They're going to struggle with login walls. So you want to make sure your HTML text content on static pages is rendering properly, okay? The next thing is sitemap.xml. This is going to tell the crawlers that pages exist. If you want to learn how to install sitemap.xml, all you need to do is look up a quick tutorial on YouTube, and that can be done very quickly. Or hire, as I mentioned, a technical SEO expert. They should be able to get it done. We can help you as well. Now, this is very important. It's structured data, as I previously mentioned. You want to add that schema markup so the AI understands different entities. It can see organization, person, article, FAQ, product. What is this that it's pulling in? And then you want to clear semantic page structure. So what does that mean? AI models understand pages better when they look like this. So it's going to be H1 tag, this big title, that's the main topic. H2 is going to be the section. H3 is going to be another section, and so on, okay? And then you want no restrictions. So if you're blocking the bots, you're stopping them from crawling, you want to actually do a full audit of your site. We might do another video on that later. Make sure your site content's being pulled in. The real estate that you own is really important. It's going to influence search results. So I want to thank you for watching this video. My name is Nadernejad, Director of Nadernejad Media Incorporated. We help people from all walks of life fix their online reputations. Give us a call, calendar link down below. Thank you for watching.